Okay, so this is ASTROS RDP Demo3. Since the last demo, there's been many changes to the application. The first and foremost is the fact that it now uses the implementation of what is known as the ASTROS Socket, which allows for the data between the SSL certificate that I'm using is 120, so it's pretty high. So I've added the support to encode the audio with OGG Vorbis format as well as MP3. The reason why that was done is because to utilize maximum compatibility with Astros when we finally decide to write the web client is the fact that Firefox is the only browser it appears currently which doesn't support MP3. Luckily, the base WAS API comes with OGG encoding, so the change wasn't that major. The file size and CPU for those audio chunks actually remains to be the same. Also, because of the ASTROS socket, I was able to greatly reduce the lag between the client and the server, and as a result, the ASTROS client appears to be actually more efficient than traditional RDP. And I have a demo that's currently set up. I have the ASTROS client here on the right, and I have an RDP window, a Microsoft RDP window on the left. The ASTROS client is connected to the server through the internet, through the internet DNS. The RDP is connected through the local network. So I'm basically doing everything to speed up the Microsoft RDP, and I have a Star Trek episode all queued up, and you basically see from the left and the right to see which one's faster. Also, I have JPEG. I'm just change the quality to be millions of colors. The audio is also set to be stereo. So if you notice, the video on the right is just a hair bit faster than the video on the left. And if you compare this video stream from the last one, you can clearly see how smooth the ASTROS client is now. Again, the one on the right's going over the internet, and the one on the left is only going through the local network, but they're both connected to the same computer. Now, of course, watching video is obviously a good thing, very important when you want to see everything very smooth and everything like that. But it's also very important for playing games. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually have a game queued up over here. I have an HTML5 version of the original Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo Entertainment System. Let's go full screen. I'm going to go ahead and play this. I'm not too good at it because it's not a gamepad, it's just a normal keyboard. See, very responsive. The sound is almost perfectly in cue. The sound is a little bit behind. Oops. It's faced the wrong way. Oops. So much for a big jump. So anyway, that was the biggest improvement right there. The rest is just extra features that have been added. So over here what I've done, I've also added the ability to transfer the clipboard to and from the client. Basically how this works is you copy some text in here, you send that to the client, rather to the server, and receive from remote. Basically it's just the same thing, just in the opposite direction. So if I just go into like Notepad for instance, copy some text in here real quick, receive from remote, and it basically pastes in here. And the reason why it's such a kooky little pop-up window is because this is the way how it's going to be in the browser. I'm trying to basically have this client, even though it's a thick client, thickly being it's a Windows application, try to be as perfect and as close to the web application as possible. So it's basically going to be copying the code out of this program and putting it into the web when the time comes, which will be very soon. The next thing also is I have the ability to do a quick, well, I think these are more like easy upload and download. I didn't want to use the word quick easy upload and download because the speed could or could not be quick depending on how many things are going on at the same time. But it is secure because all these things over here do benefit from a secure connection, so therefore it is in fact HIPAA compliant. To upload a file, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to, this little open common dialog box pops up. I select the file. I have a zip file I want to select. Just click on open, and it pops up a window. This is a custom common dialog box. Obviously, whatever Astros UI we decide on will replace this dialog. Just going to copy it to C drive. This file exists. Yes, overwrite it. And it gets a little upload dialog box. It just basically tells the time remaining, time elapsed, the speed, the progress, where the progress bar tells you the percentage complete and how many bytes of the total size, and a cancel button over here. Also, the file size is currently limited to a maximum of 10 megabytes. That's just some virtual limitation I put on there. Of course, we can change that to be whatever we want, deciding with, however we decide to have membership or something like that. So now the file's been uploaded, and it was a zip file. So let me just find it, just to make sure that it opens up. Okay, just verify the integrity. And let's download file. And this is basically the same thing in the reverse. So it's the same dialog, it's the same idea. And also, while it's downloading, on the background, I can still work. I can still do stuff. And that may be a good thing or a bad thing. You can actually minimize this file dialog box, but if they want to make it go faster, if I just turn off the screen button, it should download as now. It's downloading a little bit faster because there's a little bit less bandwidth usage, and now the download speed's jumping up to 300 kilobytes per second. The file upload and download, of course, will work different when it's in the browser version. The upload will, how it's working right now for this thick client, is it's not opening up the whole file memory. It's basically just taking 8 kilobyte chunks of the file and sending kilobytes of data to the server. So not only is it fast and small, and not fast, but it also allows you to, in the background, still use the client to do other things, but it also saves on memory because it doesn't open up a whole file of memory. It only opens up 8K of the file of memory at once. In HTML5, there's something called a file reader, which does pretty much the same thing. Also, for file downloading, I'm going to basically just have the browser just use the native file download for that. I'm just going to turn the screen on to show the final feature that was added, and that's the zoom. This little drop down over here has some predefined percentages, down from 10% all the way up to 2%, to 200%, sorry. And a scroll bar, which if you press the button, basically just goes through the items in the combo list. Right now the zoom is using a filter from the free image, which basically combines the pixels together so they don't look pixelated as much. The only problem with that, which I found, is that it does slow down the client application a lot because it has to do that pixel by pixel combination, and I don't know whether or not I should do it, but I'm not really too concerned about it right now, because I'm pretty sure with the Canvas tool and HTML5 things may or may not be different, so I'll sort of cross that bridge when I get to it. And the other features I added to this application was just some fixing up. You have the ability now to not only disconnect, but if your connection was lost, the client will basically prompt you to reconnect, and it'll keep trying to reconnect to the server until finally the end user says, okay, stop it, I don't want to connect anymore. And there were some other error bugs and icons and whatever added to the application, just basically polishing it up before I go start working on the HTML5 version. And that's basically my demo. And the final question I have for anybody is if there were any other features that they wanted to see in this before I start writing the web client, because like I'm trying to say the prior demo, I'm trying to make this application as close to pristine as possible before working on the web version, so sort of like two versions at the same time. And who knows, maybe some point down the road we might take this thick client application and have it as a separate application instead of just supplementing the web-based version. So that's the end of this demo. Hope you like it.